In this video, let us understand how to make DFT, where DFT stands for data flow diagram. First, let us look at the advantages of DFT. Easy to understand the project. Now, if you have a bigger project, so in a team, we need to know exactly what this project is, how the data flows. So all this can be explained via data flow diagram. Explains the data flow from table to table. So which is the first table, from that table to next table, from that to next table, how the data flow from one table to the next table. Team members will have the same information. So when you represent by a diagram, you explain to everyone, so therefore everyone will understand the concept much more clear than the normal method where you explain in words actually. So therefore the other one is easy to represent than in words. Okay, so if I explain something, each one will understand in his own way, but if you explain in a graphical way, then easy to understand. Okay, these are the concept, this is the table, these are the column, this is the next table, these are the columns, this is how the data go from the one table to next table. So therefore all the team members will come to the conclusion, so based on that they can prepare their part of the work. So DFT is based on your tables. What are the tables you are designed based on that? You have to create the DFTs, particularly when you want to make a document. So where you need to create the DFT. Therefore, before making the DFT, make sure your tables are ready. Based on the tables, you have to make the DFTs. So therefore, first you need to create all your tables. So what is a data flow diagram? A data flow diagram is a way of representing flow of data through a process or a system. So therefore you can represent in a graphical method. So here is an example. So this is a student result system. So there are two entities here. One is student entity, the other one is a faculty. Student will request for the result, then he'll get the result. Whereas in faculty, will get the list, student list. So he enter the marks and then they'll send back to the student result system. So this is a level, first level DFT indicating that what exactly project is. So this project is to display the student result. So student result has to be displayed based on the marks entry. Therefore faculty has to enter the marks that student can able to view it. So it's used defined symbols like rectangles, circles, arrows, plus short text labels to show data input, output, storage points, and other routes between each destination. So here you can see that this is the rectangle indicating the entity, circle indicating the process, arrows to where the data moves, how the data moves, and labeling like so we can write what exactly this means. DFT can often usually say things that would be hard to explain in words, and they work for both technical and non-technical people. So we already know so when you explain something, each one may understand in a different way, but if you represent the same thing in the picture, may be easy to understand. So example, let's say five blind people will touch the elephant, and each one has whatever the part each touch, assume that oh elephant will be like this. So the person who touch the trunk, he feel like it may be like snake. The person who touch the ear, he may feel like it's a ear. The person who touch the leg, he feel like it is like a tree. The person who touch the stomach, he feels like a wall. Okay, like the same the whole picture. If you not see the whole picture, the what part of the concept you understood, so you assume that way. So therefore that will not happen. So in a project, so in a big project where hundred of people are working, so everyone should have to have clarity. So what exactly this, what exactly you need to do. So therefore in order to make them understand the whole concept, you have to use the DFTs. So why to use DFT again? Same thing. DFT is a good way to structure your thinking to see all the required components are in place. DFT is a good way to overview any kind of simple or complex process that has multiple information components can be better understand internal process and flows. It may be internal or external. So, but end of the day, it means that you need to understand the whole concept. So here is an example of DFT. So this is the food order system. So where customer places an order, so we'll go to the order process and the order will go to kitchen where they need to prepare the food and then it will deliver to customer. Parallelly, the food items are required, so therefore it will go to inventory. The order will be recorded in the inventory. So therefore, what is the food, that inventory will record that one. After recording, so we can generate the reports based on the these values, and the manager can get this report and then he can analyze it. The order will also go to the data store. What are the orders comes, that will go to data store. In the inventory, again the order inventory will access the inventory. So then if any item below the required quantity, then it places an order to the supplier. So therefore the manager will control the overall everything. Whereas once the inventory goes down, so therefore this is the process where we'll write the program. So if, for example, let's say the rice minimum you need to maintain is 100 kg. When you supply rice to the kitchen, the values come down. So let's say initially it's 120 kgs, but now you given 30 kgs to kitchen, so it becomes 90. So then in order inventory, it becomes less than 100. Therefore, it place an order to the supplier. So send me one more 100 kgs. So therefore the process will be take place here. So whoever write the program, this part of the people understand the concept, so they need to pull the data from here, they need to do the process, and then you need to place an order with the supplier. So therefore this concept will make everyone to understand what is exactly take place, what are the things we need to do, all this concept. So here customer, kitchen, manager and supplier are entities. Order food, generate report, order inventory are the process, inventory and data store are the data storage. Four important symbols of data flow diagrams. First one is external entity, process, data store, data flow. So all this we already seen there in the previous example. Same we'll discuss again. So an outside that sends or receive data communicate with the system being diagrammed. So therefore you can see that these are the entities, these are the external entities. Process, any process that changes the data producing an output, it might perform computation based on the business rules. So for example, let's say order inventory. So order inventory based on your computations, based on your business rule. If below the inventory level, so then they need to place an order, right? So therefore, this is the process so which take place in the system. Then next one is the data storage. So we need to store the data. When customer place an order, it should go to the order tables, and the order will be stored in the data store, and what are the products will be consumed, they'll go to the inventory. Files are repositories that hold information for a later use, such as database table or membership form. So therefore, these are the database tables where data will be stored. So next one is the data flow. Data flow will be represented by the arrow marks. So here there are two systems, Ardan and CORD, GAN and Sarson. But the difference is only the process and how do you store the data. So the symbols will be different, but otherwise the concept is almost same. So here we process for use the circle, here we use the box with a line. So DFT rules, each process should have at least one input and an output. Each data store should have at least one data flow in and out. Data store system must go through a process. All process in DFT go to another process or data store. When you have the process will go to another process or will go to the data store or will store the information. So there are three levels of DFT, zero level, first level and the second level. The zero level is called as a context diagram. So it indicates the overall picture of the DFT. First level will give you an idea like how the data flow from table to table, and in the second level we'll go to much more deeper way and we'll explain in detail how the data will be communicated. So there are a lot of advantages you and we discussed at the beginning. So these are the main advantage of data flow diagram. So here is another DFT. This for the college management. So where you can see the student is a main. So there is a subject belongs to course. So student will take the course and he will make the payment, that will go to fee table, and he attend the classes. So therefore a staff member will raise the attendance. So then student can know like what is his total attendance, and the staff member will conduct the test and allocate the marks to the student. Therefore student will get the test marks. So you'll take the test and write the test, and for that, so marks will be allocated. That marks each student can able to view it. So this represent the a college management project DFT. So here these are the tables: course table, subject table, student table, attendance table, fees table, test table, and stock table. So this is how you need to prepare, and then you need to put it in your document. So here is another one. This is a bank. So where customer can deposit the money, withdraw the money. There is a teller machine. So like no, you can ask for you can deposit the money again. You can request for the report. And here is a manager. And here one thing. So if you want to make a DFT, use a different softwares. Don't try to do it in a MS Word. Maybe there are little difficulties over there. So the lines, drawing, and the movement, disturbance, lot of things will happen. Therefore, better to use different softwares. Software to create DFT, you can use MS Paint, create the whole DFT in Paint and then cut and paste into MS Word. Or you can use the Inkscape, it's a free software. It's a graphical vector design software. You can use the Inkscape to design the DFTs. You can also use the CorelDRAW if you have CorelDRAW to draw the DFT. Apart from this, there may be some more free softwares are available. So check it out on the net and you can use any of the drawing software. So here is another DFT for complaint system or police station system. So here what happens, you can log in. So there is a station. So station belongs to particular state and particular district. So when you enter in the station, you need to allocate to particular state and district. And there is a case tab, right? So the case will be filed. It will go to become as a complaint. And there is a based on complaint type, you can make the complaint. So based on the complaint, we raise the warrant and then we can arrest the person. When you arrest the person, the data will go to the arrest table. Complaint, these are the tables, so where data will be stored into the tables. So it is another one, library management. It's a zero level DFT. So here is a student will check for the books. So book is available, you can get the book. The management will ask for the report, what are the books taken by the students. Employee can able to again can check the availability and then he can get the books. So library, this is the database. All the book info will be stored into the this particular DB or this table. From this we can fetch all the data. So hope you understand the concepts. If you have any doubt, please let me know what doubts you are having. So please write it in the comment and also please subscribe to our channel.